Welcome into this special web edition of Cuse Countdown, breaking down the Orange and Hoosiers of Indiana in the Sweet 16. Alongside Jay Alter, Ben Fontana, and Jay, Syracuse rolling through the first two rounds of the NCAA tournament.
How about that game against Montana, Ben? 81-34. The Orange couldn't have played any better. Really impressed with their defense, really holding that Montana team that some people were even picking to upset them.
I'm telling you, the 2-3 zone looks really lengthy, more lengthy than it has looked against Big East teams. Now, let's talk about the travel for a minute, all the way out 3,000 miles to San Jose, now all the way back another 3,000 miles to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, the game against Cal was practically a road game for the Orange. Cal definitely dominated the fan base there. Now back to D.C. Yeah, lots of travel. Jim Boeheim said, not ideal that you're going cross-country for your games, but this team is mentally tough, and now they're back on the East Coast where they're comfortable, where they've got the fans, and he expects his team to be mentally prepared and ready for their Sweet 16 matchup.
Well, let's set it up for you guys. Thursday night, 9:45 p.m. tip. Last time these two teams faced in the tournament, well, I think some Orange fans remember it left a bitter taste in their mouth. 1987, the title game between Syracuse and Indiana. Keith Smart hits the game-winning shot with just seconds left. Syracuse does own a 3-1 all-time series lead against Indiana, but that 87 title game, it just burns for the Orange. Different team this year, though, for Indiana in 2013. They were ranked #1 for a long portion of the season. They got a lot of bruisers. You got to talk about Cody Zeller, Victor Oladipo. This Hoosiers team is pretty darn good. That's why they're the 1 seed in the East.
Yeah, Ben, it's not Keith Smart walking through the locker room. It's Victor Oladipo. Very similar, actually, in the way they play. The clutch factor is what I like about Oladipo. You see in that Temple game when Indiana needed a big shot, Oladipo delivered, hit that big three-pointer that sent the Hoosiers to the Sweet 16. I don't know if the Orange have a clutch guy like Indiana has with Oladipo.
Well, the star power certainly is there for both teams. Trish, Carter Williams, Sutherland. As we look behind us, Baimu Sakeda's even been stepping up.
Absolutely.
So what's your X factor for this game? I mean, anything can happen in the tournament, right?
Yeah, Ben, Cody Zeller, okay?
Right.
It's been a problem. The interior for the Orange has been a problem all season long, and Cody Zeller is so dominant, especially creating second chance opportunities for the Hoosiers. I really like how Temple played him. Zeller was only 4 for 10 from the field, 6 rebounds. They really contained him. He wasn't really a factor in the game. So if Zeller gets his way, he could dominate this game. It could get ugly for the Orange because, let's be honest, Rakeem Christmas has been really disappointing this year. But if he and Queta steps up, and shut down Zeller, Orange could get the victory.
Well, Rack has been shaky, to say the least, but I'm sure the Orange would like to face Temple, who they lost to back in December back at MSG. But more or less, I think the Owls gave the Orange almost a blueprint to beat the Hoosiers. So does it happen?
Well, it's going to be a really tight game, Ben, similar to what we saw in the national championship game in 1987. But I have the Orange coming out on top, 67-66. I think James Sutherland, the senior, really steps up. I really like the length that Sutherland and Fair provide out on the wings for the Orange. I really think that is what puts them ahead of the Hoosiers and into the Elite Eight.
Well, I know you're going to stay tuned with us online. Don't forget, Twitter, @CitrusTV Sports, Facebook, just like our page, CitrusTV Sports. We'll give you updates from Washington, D.C. of the game, pregame, postgame, during the game. Stay tuned, even sportsblog.citrustv.net.